Welcome back, Frank Demore with the Last Chronicles of Planet Earth. Again, today is May 26, 2011. And again, I'd like to invite you to go to my website, www.bibleprophecyman.com, and you can download my documentary called The Last Chronicles of Planet Earth for free. And you could do it today. You just click the link when you get to my website, and that book will download for you for free with no strings attached whatsoever. I want to talk a little bit more about Israel, what's going to happen in my video today, one of my videos at this site. If you're at YouTube, you'd have to go to my site to see the write-ups on it, as well as watch the videos. But the one of the videos I talked about September and what may happen if the UN goes and makes the resolution stand and creates a Palestinian state like happened to Israel in 1948. And so we're looking to see what's going to happen in September, because obviously a war could break out if Israel just negated that and fought that. So we need to watch what's going to take place in September. Now, also, we need to watch what's going to happen in June. And I'll tell you why. Everybody who saw the news that watched on May 15th, when the Muslims or the Arabs around Israel that came in from the bordering nations of Israel, Syria, they came in from Egypt, they came in from I believe it's Lebanon, the borders. And they tried to get in, and a lot of these people who tried to get into Israel were killed. This took place on May 15th. And I warned people we should watch those events, because at any time one of these conflicts could spark the Psalm 83 war, because the nations that are coming against Israel are those bordering nations that border Israel. And so now that we saw the violence and we saw the killing that took place when they tried to advance into Israel, there's another report that says they're going to do it again, and this is the report that I wanted to show you today. You'll see this at my website. It says on June 5th, support of a Palestinian refugee's right to return. And I'm going to give you the highlights of this. It's a long article, but when you go to my website, I'll just break it down and show you the most important parts, I think anyway, in my opinion. It says the right of return is the core goal for the Palestinian liberation struggle, and since 1947 through 1948, when over 750,000 Palestinians were forcibly expelled from their homes and more than 700,000 were ethnically cleansed from their country altogether. And their descendants have organized to demand the re-certification of the historic injustice. The refugees of the Six-Day War in the 1967, after which Israeli forces drove 300,000 Palestinians out of the occupied Gaza Strip and the West Bank, the Palestinians of the residency rights, and the ongoing coalition of the Palestine and displacement of indigenous inhabitants have added their voices to the growing global movement for return. Two things of importance. The global movement. The global movement is against Israel. Zechariah 12:3 tells us that everyone, all the nations, would come against Israel. So that's the first red flag that goes up. And obviously that the Palestinians are putting together another march. That's the second flag. Now, going down deeper into this article, it says Israeli forces killed at least 15 demonstrators on 3 borders which occupy Gaza, Lebanon, between Syria and the occupied Golan Heights, wounded hundreds more with live gunfire and artillery shells and tear gas, and unleashed a wave of arrest and repression in the occupied West Bank. This massive violence could only have been planned as a show of brute force, intended along with Benjamin Netanyahu's repeated assertions that it's not going to happen, to dissuade Palestinian refugees from asserting their historic rights and the global consensus for the right return. Now here's where it gets good. Yet the most enduring story from May 15th may be that of Hassan Hijazi. I believe that's how you pronounce it. A 20-year-old Palestinian refugee living in Syria. He braved gunfire and killed four others. Along the border with the occupied Golan Heights, then hitchhiked and finally took a bus to his family's home in Jaffa before turning himself in to Tel Aviv police. He told Israeli reporters, "I wasn't afraid and I'm not afraid." On the bus to Jaffa, I sat next to Israeli soldiers. I realized that they were more afraid than I was. So the march now is planned, another march is planned for June 5th. And they're going to make another attempt to do the same thing that they did May 15th. And obviously, if they go through with their plans, and keep in the back of your mind, at least it's in the back of my mind, they want to do this to put a bad light on Israel so that the whole world looks at Israel. If you have these people who don't carry arms, and they use force against them, it's going to make Israel look like a thug. This is what the Palestinians want. They don't care. They're pushing their people out to do this. They know that there's a chance that people might be killed, but this is the byproduct of what they want done, because their agenda is to infiltrate Israel, make them look bad, and destroy the nation of Israel. That's the agenda. And so Israel is going to have to take a stand. They're going to have to move on these people if they come across the border. And the thing that I am watching for, if this happens and it ignites to even further, it could possibly end up into the beginning of the Psalm 83 war. If the bordering nations see, the government see that their people are getting killed, they may instill orders to bring the forces together against Israel to stop the killing. That may be one of the scenarios. Anyway, we're watching June 5th. We're watching what's going to happen in September, because we know that sooner or later something is going to click and that Psalm war is going to take place. We know it's going to happen soon.